Drama alert revolving light, forget the tabloids. This is real royalty. Hot beverage. Netflix just blasted Dan Wootton for dragging Meghan Markle's Archetypes show.
Harry and Meghan have left the UK, yet the tabloids can't seem to get enough of them. It's an obsession that's both relentless and perplexing. Picture it as a scorned ex who, despite claiming to be over the relationship, can't help but stalk their former partner's every move. It's a bizarre spectacle, and one that's playing out on the global stage for all to see. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have made it quite clear that they've moved on. They've relocated, established their independence, and are carving out their own path. Yet, the tabloids continue to hound them like a relentless shadow that just won't fade. The question is, why this unyielding obsession? Perhaps it's because Harry and Meghan's departure has left a void. Their absence has taken away the tabloids' favourite targets, the ones they love to chastise and ridicule. Without them, who would fill the front pages? Who would stoke the flames of controversy and keep the readers coming back for more? So they cling. They cling to the remnants of a relationship that no longer exists. They continue to dissect every move, every word, every glance, as if Harry and Meghan are still within their grasp. It's like watching a puppet show where the puppets have cut their strings and walked off, but the puppeteer insists on continuing the performance. And yet, despite the fervour and the relentless scrutiny, Harry and Meghan persist. They continue to rise above the noise, focusing on their work, their causes, and their family. They've refused to be drawn back into the drama. They've chosen to move forward. It's baffling, the insistence to cling on to something that's clearly moved on. But perhaps that's just it. Perhaps it's not about Harry and Meghan at all, but about an inability to let go, to accept change, to embrace the new. Because in the end, isn't that what obsession truly is? A refusal to let go of the past, even when the future is knocking at the door. The royal family's treatment of Meghan reveals a darker side of this institution, the need for control. This isn't merely about questioning the colour of her unborn son's skin. The royal family stood by and watched. They allowed Meghan to be bullied and racially attacked, a clear indication of their desire for control. It's not about protecting the institution's image, it's about enforcing a system of control. Meghan was an outsider, a disruptor. She didn't fit the mould, and for that she was punished. When Harry chose to stand by his wife to protect her when his family wouldn't, he too became a target. He too was punished. But what does this punishment look like? It's not just about negative press coverage or being stripped of royal duties. It's about isolation, about being cut off from family, from support systems. It's about being silenced. About having your voice taken away. This issue of control isn't unique to Meghan's situation. It's a pattern that has played out before with Princess Diana, with Sarah Ferguson. It's a system designed to maintain the status quo, to keep the monarchy in power, to silence those who dare to challenge it. Indeed, the lack of support for Meghan exposes the power dynamics at play. The royal family's need for control reveals a darker side of this institution, one that is more concerned with maintaining power than with protecting its own. The racism within the royal family is undeniable, and Meghan's experience is a clear testament to this. Meghan, a woman of colour, entered the royal family with grace and poise, expecting to be welcomed into a family that represented unity and tradition. Yet what she encountered was a stark contrast to her expectations. The racism within the royal family was not subtle, it was not hidden, it was out in the open, a glaring and ugly truth that no one seemed to want to address. Meghan was upfront about the racism she faced. She was brutally honest about the concerns that were raised about her son Archie's skin colour before he was even born. Imagine that a child, an unborn baby, being subjected to such prejudice, such bigotry within the very family he was born into. What's even more disheartening is the role that the British media played in this. Instead of standing up against racism, they contributed to it. They demonised Meghan at every turn, painting her as the villain, the outsider, the one who didn't belong. And for what? For being different, for being herself. It's a sad reflection of the state of our society when a woman is vilified for simply being who she is. And then there's Kate, the media's darling, the perfect princess.
royal family members,
Meghan and Kate,
particularly Prince
two women
Andrew,
in similar
despite his own
positions, yet
well-documented
treated so
scandals.
differently.
As the drama
Meghan
unfolded,
was criticised
people
for
on
doing the
social
very
media
same
began to
things that
take
Kate
sides.
was praised for.
Meghan's
The
supporters
double
praised
standards
Netflix
were
for stepping
glaring.
up and defending
The bias
her,
was
calling it
obvious.
a sign of solidarity
This wasn't
for
just
women
about
who were
Meghan being an
constantly
outsider.
scrutinized and
It was
criticized
about
for
Meghan
speaking
being
their
a woman
truth.
of colour.
Wootton, meanwhile,
It's disheartening to
faced increasing
realise that
backlash,
such an esteemed
with many calling
institution
out his
harbours
hypocrisy
such
in
prejudice.
attacking Meghan while simultaneously
The royal
defending
family,
other
an
controversial
institution
figures.
that is supposed to
Several
represent unity,
high-profile
harmony
personalities,
and equality,
including journalists and
was exposed
influencers,
for what it
began
truly
to
is,
publicly express their
a breeding
frustration
ground
with
for
Wootton's
racism and
tactics,
prejudice.
accusing him of engaging in
Meghan's
smear
experience
campaigns
is a
against
painful
Meghan
reminder
simply
that
because of
racism
her
is still
departure
very
from
much
the royal
alive and
family
well,
and her increasing
even in the most
visibility in the
unexpected
media.
of places.
But even
Harry
with
and
all the
Meghan
support
wanted
for
to
Meghan
step
and
away to
Netflix,
live
there
their
were
own
those who
lives.
continued to criticize
Yet
the couple's
the hounding
high-profile
continues.
lifestyle and public ventures.
It's a tale as old
Some
as
believe
time,
that
really.
Netflix was only defending
The
Meghan
relentless
because of her
pursuit
star
of those
power
who
and the
dare to live
financial
life on their
stakes
own
involved.
terms.
After all,
The Duke and Duchess of
archetypes was
Sussex
just
sought to
one
carve
part of
their
a
own
much
path
larger
to break
deal that
free
Meghan
from
and
the
Harry
gilded
had struck
cage
with
that is the
Netflix,
royal
worth
life.
millions of dollars.
Yet they find themselves
Skeptics
constantly
of the
pursued
Sussexes'
by a
media
press
empire
that seems
questioned
unable
whether
to let
Netflix's
go.
response was more
They
about
yearned for a
protecting its
life of
investment than
financial
genuinely
independence,
supporting Meghan's
a
advocacy.
life where they could make
Despite
their
the
own
polarized
choices,
opinions,
free
what
from the
became clear was
constraints
the
of
public
royal
nature of this
protocols.
battle. What
Yet,
started as a
the very
critique of a
people who
podcast
pushed them
quickly
away,
evolved into
who
a
made it clear that they were
high-profile
unwelcome,
clash between two
can't
very
seem to
different
stop
visions of
talking
Meghan
about them.
Markle's place in the media
It's like an
landscape.
ex-lover who claims they're
On one
over you,
hand,
yet
there was the
obsessively stalks
tabloid-driven,
your every move.
sensationalist approach embodied
And it's
by
not
Wootton,
just the
and
British
on the
press.
other, there
It
was
seems the
Netflix's
world is
attempt to frame
fascinated by
Meghan's
this couple
project
who
as a
dared to
necessary,
challenge an
progressive
age-old
voice in a world
institution,
that was far
who
too
dared to
often
speak out
unwilling to
against
embrace
racism,
change.
who
In the
dared to
wake
put
of
their
Netflix's
mental health
public
and
statement,
happiness
Meghan
above
herself
duty
remained
and
relatively
tradition.
quiet, although many
They wanted
believed
to
that
step
she was
away from
quietly
the public
satisfied
eye.
with the streaming
Yet
giant's
they find
support.
themselves more
Her
in the
team issued a
spotlight
brief
than ever
statement
before.
thanking Netflix for standing by
Yet,
her, but
amidst
they
all the
largely
scrutiny,
refrained from commenting
all the
on Wootton's
criticism,
attacks directly.
they've remained resilient.
Instead,
They've
Meghan
continued
focused
to
on
champion
continuing
the
the mission
causes they
behind
believe
archetypes,
in, to use their
using her
platform to shed light
challenge
on issues
outdated
that
ideas
matter.
and amplify
They've
voices
shown that
that
it's
often go
possible to
unheard.
live life on your own
Ultimately,
terms,
the drama
even when
surrounding
the
Dan
world
Wootton and
seems
archetypes
against you.
showcased just how
But one can't
polarizing
help
Meghan
but
Markle
question
had
why.
become in the public
Why the
eye.
obsession?
To
Why
some,
the relentless
she was a symbol
pursuit?
of modernity and
If they are so
progressive change.
irrelevant,
To
so
others,
unimportant,
she was a
why
calculated
dedicate so
celebrity
much
chasing
time and
after fame
energy
and
into
fortune at any
criticizing them?
cost.
Why not let them
Regardless
live
of
their
which
lives
side
in
one
peace?
took,
It's a
one
perplexing
thing was
paradox,
certain:
isn't it?
this battle
The
was
royal
far from
family
over,
needs
and it
a
was only a
scapegoat,
matter of time
and Harry
before
and
new
Meghan have been
developments
chosen
would
to
add
play
fuel
this
to the
role.
fire.
It's
But
a
for
classic
now, as the battle
diversionary
between Wootton
tactic.
and Netflix raged on,
By
one
focusing
could
the
only
public's
sit back and
attention
watch
on
as
the
the war of
supposed
words continued to
transgressions of the
unfold,
Duke and
further
Duchess of
entrenching the
Sussex,
divides
the
between
royal
Meghan's
family
supporters and
diverts
critics.
attention away
Whether
from their
Wootton's
own
constant
missteps,
criticisms would have any
controversies and
lasting
shortcomings.
impact on Meghan's
It's a
career,
strategy as
or whether
old as
Netflix's
time,
bold stance
but
would
never
help
before has
solidify
it been so
archetypes as a
ruthlessly
cultural milestone,
employed.
remained to be
The
seen.
British press,
One thing
ever
was for
hungry
sure:
for a
the
scandal,
saga was just getting
amplifies this
started.
narrative.